supposed to be saying?
Genealogist.
Have a famous lady like you on, and then have a professor. Look at him. He look like a boy. You go, oh, I'm gonna use this one right here. This one.
Okay. You want to use this one?
Yeah, use that one. Yeah. Let me tell you, this man, I've been on for a long time. He's helped me out a lot in different things, you know. So when he called to say he's coming on the show, it was like last night. It didn't matter to him because you know why? That's how important he is to me. So tell us, well, first of all, you got that in this one.
Oh, I'm impressed. As I said, I just met Rob, and I was handed a book that he has written, and I am so impressed. He walked in the door, he has this wonderful suit on, red tie, and a bright smile. And he has written a book called 12 Secrets to Student Success in the Real World, How to Create a Successful Future. And he also has another one called Show Up, Step Out, and Shine, How to Excel in Everything You Do. So this is Rob Moore.
Oh, good morning, everybody.
So what's happening? Tell us a little bit about since the last time you were here. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing.
Oh, man. But I don't even know how long ago it was that I was here.
What
has it been? Maybe a few months, maybe?
A few months, and you done stepped up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wrote 2 books. The first book I wrote was 12 Secrets to Student Success. And the reason I wrote that book was mainly because, you know, when I was in high school, when I was going to school, you know, I would say I was average. You know, I never gave it more than 80%. And it was really based on, you know, the people that I was around. And it wasn't until after high school that I started to learn, you know, that you're able to take 100% full control of your life. And if you take responsibility, you can create whatever you want to create. And I was like, you know what? I didn't have anybody to tell me this stuff back when I was in high school. So I figure I'll write this book. And I thought to myself, what things that I really wish somebody would have took the time to tell me to help me excel my life, you know, a lot faster than I did. And I wrote down 12 success principles that I think would help anybody in school. And I call them secrets because, you know, bottom line is they're not taught in school, and also a lot of people don't know about them. So that's what inspired me to write that book. And then I wrote the second book, Show Up, Step Out, and Shine, because, you know, once you read the first book and you get the groundwork down, you know, the basics, you know, Show Up, Step Out, and Shine is all about excelling in everything you do. You know, that's my primary keynote speech that I give to a lot of groups. And Show Up is all about bringing your best self, you know, doing the best you can do in everything you do. And stepping out is about being different. You know, you got to step out and transform in order to get where you want to go. You can't follow the crowd. You know, 90% of people in this world are average. You know, I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. 90% of people are average. And if you do what the average person does, you're going to get average results. So if you want to get mega results, you got to do what the 10% of people are willing to do. And that's how the super successful and really, really rich people, you know, that's how they get what they have. That's how they live the life that they want to live. It's not like they were born that way. And Shine is all about doing everything you possibly can do to make yourself stand out from the crowd.
So tell me now, I want to step up. So how can I step up? I mean, is there any age limit on stepping up?
Absolutely no age limit. Okay. You can step out at any age.
Because I want to be rich. I want to have that boat in the Hudson River, you know. I want to have a plane. I can just pick up my friends, you know, and we can go and check out France or Italy or anywhere we want to go to. So now, as a kid, you say you really didn't have a lot of people tell you how to step up or change your life, you know, that you were just average in school. So explain that to us.
Well, first of all, I have to say that that's not 100% true because, you know, my parents, you know, when they're trying to raise you, you know, they're always trying to teach you things, but the truth of the matter was, I didn't listen. You know, I'm pretty sure that most people out there, you know, when you're young and you're hanging out with your friends and you're out there in the real world, you know, you feel like you know everything. I mean, you feel like your parents don't know what they're talking about. And, you know, I told my son that all the time. I was like, listen, you know, I was your age. You know, I've been there. I know how it is. And I'm just trying to help you, you know, get around the path a little easier than I did, so you don't have to keep going through all the bumps that I did. And a lot of the problem was just wanting to fit in, wanting to be like everybody else.
So what you're saying is you don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to be like the 90%. You could be the part of the 10%. That's what you're saying. Like, I mean, if you step up a little bit, you can just move on. You don't have to just be average.
Absolutely, John. John, stepping out is a choice.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a choice that you have to make. And it's probably a choice I would have made a lot quicker if I was influenced by certain people. I just wasn't. I mean, I was very quiet and shy. I mean, you could never get me on a microphone on a radio station like this when I was a kid. You could not get me up in front of a crowd on stage in order to speak to anybody. You couldn't get me to do something like that. You know, I was quiet and shy. I wanted to fit in.
So I see one of your chapters is on mentorship. And I think most kids, yes, they have their parents as role models, and yet they still don't, as you did, you didn't want to listen to them. So as a kid, who would you have welcomed to be a mentor for you?
At that time, it would be the popular kids in school. Those were the people that you wanted to be like, you know, because at that time it felt like it was really good, you know, to be popular. But what I found out after school is you really can't get anywhere doing that. You got to look at people that have the things that you want. You know, not just about what we were just talking about. You want to find people that you want. And when I got out of high school, you know, I was in a rut, you know, for 12 months before I started to figure out that, hey, you know, what I'm doing, this ain't working. You know, and then I was like, I was open. At that time, I became open to listening to my parents. I was very open. After trying it my way for so long and finding out that I wasn't getting anywhere, and I broke down one day, and I had one of the funnest nights I've ever had, you know, partying with my friends, which turned into one of the worst nights I ever had. You know, my first car broke down. I'm up here going to be putting literally thousands of dollars into a car that didn't work anymore. And I was just like, man, my life is done. So the only thing that I had left was, you know what, let me try it my parents' way. And I had a conversation with my mom, and it was a very intimate conversation. And basically what I got out of that conversation was the fact that I really have control of my life. I really have control. I can do what I want to do. And as soon as I realized that, everything changed so quick. It was crazy. It was just so crazy how things changed. You know, I started to look at people that had what I wanted. And then I was like, all right, what are they doing? And I got to do the same thing. Matter of fact, I got to do it even better if I want to make up time that I lost.
Right. See, now I want to just go back to one thing about in high school you want to be like popular like everybody else, you know. Well, you know that only lasts in high school because the basketball star or the cheerleader, how everybody, oh, there go the cheerleader, there go the basketball player, you know. But when you get out of school, that's over. So
Exactly.
that means just another step. That means, like the book says, you got to step up and try to do something else with your life. I like that. And I see right now, you have done a lot with your life. I mean, if people could see you right now, it look like you should be on a stage talking to 300,000 or 400,000 people. And I guess that might be one of your goals.
Absolutely.
But, yes.
Absolutely.
I'll listen. I'll be right there listening too. Like I'm listening right now because I'm getting a lot out of this. Because I always believe that I always wanted something else. When you live in the South, you know, you see how bad things were, you know. You want more things for your family and your friends, you know. having 8 kids, I always thought about, you know, I don't want my kids to go through the same thing that I went through. I want to be better, and I want them to be better. And it works, you know. But some of the kids, you know, I don't listen to that, you know. You don't know, you know. But if you stop sometime and listen to your parents, you'd be surprised. What they're trying to do is trying to make you go around some things they had to go through.
You're right. Absolutely.
So what you're saying is absolutely true. And I'm listening to you too. I'm gonna get back here and just lay back and listen to you. And my famous co-host here, that's all the big questions.
Yeah, why don't you hit me with another question?
Yeah,
You know, I could sit here and talk all day, you know?
Yeah, I was just looking through 12 Secrets to Student Success, and I have a chapter that just jumped out at me. If you change, everything will change for you. I love that. Will you tell us more about that?
Yeah, that was pretty much, I kind of touched on that a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, I told you I had this attitude of, you know, my parents knew everything. And, you know, when I decided that I was going to do things differently and I was going to take 100% control of my life, you know, I wasn't going to blame anybody in the world for me not getting the things that I want. You know, I wasn't going to blame the environment. I wasn't going to blame the friends that I grew up with. I wasn't going to blame my brother and sister. I wasn't going to blame the school that I was going to. I took all excuses away. And I said, if it's going to be, it's up to me.
So you took responsibility.
I took 100% responsibility. And, you know, when you're in a positive state of mind and you're reaching towards goals, you know, you'll be amazed on how many doors actually open up for you. And I had so many different opportunities that I could have chose from at that time. And, you know, John's known me for a long time. You know, I've worked with Price Chopper, you know, for the past 15 years. And, you know, I've had a phenomenal, you know, career with them. You know, I worked with them my first 2 years part-time as a seafood clerk. And during that 2-year time frame, you know, it was just a job to put some money in my pocket. You know, it wasn't something I was looking to make a career out of, but I found it as an option because I was looking around one day and I'm looking at all these people getting promotions and I'm like, and I'm pretty sure everybody out there has seen people that had more than them or did something spectacular and you're like, well, I'm better than that person. How in the world are they doing that? So I was like, you know what, if that person can do it and that person can do it, I definitely can do it too. Matter of fact, I can do it 10 times better if I choose to. And that's exactly what I did. I decided that I wanted a career with Price Chopper. And I mean, it was literally months after making the decision that that started to happen. You know, I've done a lot of things on my own. I didn't wait around for somebody to tell me that I had potential. I didn't wait around for somebody to tell me that, you know what, you're a pretty hard worker and, you know, you can have a career with Price Chopper. You know, I didn't wait for any of that. I was like, you know what, I want a career with Price Chopper. Give me the policy and procedure manual for the department. You know, this thing was about, probably three quarters of a, it was thick. It was thick. You know, I took that thing on my own, never asked. You know, I read that thing a couple times on my own. I did things on my own to develop myself. I looked at, you know, my managers and my supervisors, and I was like, you know what? I can do that, and I'm going to do it better. I made it a goal to be the best at every task and responsibility in the department. And that stuff makes you stand out like crazy. You stand out like a diamond in the rough.
So it sounds
I like that. I like that. What is it, diamond or what's that again?
You stand out like a diamond in the rough.
Wow. And
I don't even know where that came from. That wasn't scripted.
But I noticed that you moved up in Price Chopper because I've been watching you. You know, I mean, you've been from store to store, you know. You became big time, you know. I mean, you worked with John Badula and all the guys, you know. And I can't keep up with you anymore, you know. You're at this store, you're at that store. Traveling here and traveling there, so this was the goal you wanted, and you just went out and took it.
Yeah, so, you know, now I'm at a point in my career where I'm like, I'm feeling like it's time for me to move on to something bigger and better. You know, I want to actually help people. I mean, I've been helping people, you know, see life the way that I see it. You know, I want to help audiences that want to do better. You know, I'm gonna motivate them to see life could be looked at differently than they look at it. And Show Up, Step Out, and Shine is a program that really helps people do that.
So it sounds like you made the decision that you were not going to be one of the 90% of average people.
You got that right.
So how do you believe that all those 90% can make that decision and put themselves in the above average?
Absolutely.
So how would you recommend somebody do that?
The first step is you got to disconnect yourself from the past. You got to say, hey, everything that happened in the past, you know, it's already done. There's nothing I can do to change it. It's done. Today's a new day. And then you got to take 100% responsibility for your life. No excuses. Zero. Zip. None. You just can't do that. And then you got to get some goals. What do you want to do? What do you like to do? If you can't come up with something, find something to start with. And as you start to progress, your goals will change. You know, they'll get bigger. You know, my goal was not to be a motivational speaker like I am today. That wasn't my goal. I grew into that over time. And then you got to find a mentor. Find somebody that's doing what you want to do. And do everything you can to build some kind of relationship with that person. Because you can ask them questions. You can get some advice. And then you got to take action.
Ah, I like that word.
Taking action?
Got to take action.
So what is your goal? I mean, the final goal. I mean, I know that, you know, that you want to be president. I understand that. You know, you might have to be governor first a couple times. But I can see that, you know, that you have a lot of get up and go. Oh, that might be your next book. Stepping up and everything else, you know.
And some ideas.
So now, you still work in Price Shop, though.
Yep.
You're still one of the managers at Price Shop.
Mm-hmm.
You notice I said manager. I want everybody to know this man is a manager at Price Shopper. A brother that's a manager at Price Shopper. They have a lot of opportunities at Price Shopper, right? Plus they're one of my sponsors.
It's an overabundance of opportunities, you know, and it's very important that I say this, you know, on this radio show about Price Shopper. You know, they're a strong company, you know, one of the strongest supermarkets out there. You know, if they've been very good to me, and there's so much opportunity in Price Chopper, it's not even funny. You know, the problem that Price Chopper is having is, you know, they want to grow very rapidly. And they're growing rapidly, but they want to grow even faster than that. But the problem is finding the people to run the stores. There's so much opportunity out there. It's just if people show up, step out and shine, they can have that opportunity.
Well, see, I realize that because Price Shopper is one of my biggest sponsors, and my pictures in all the Price Shoppers.
Yes, they are. I think chain-wide, John.
I saved $100. Okay, look here now. What is? Are you planning on having speaking all over the country or something? That's one of your goals? I have found my calling. I have found my purpose. You know, I want to speak internationally. Internationally. That's what I want to do. I want to do this thing big.
So you mentioned the word action before, so how are you taking action on that?
Ooh, that is a good question. Let's see, number one, I've been with John. You know, we haven't been on the radio show in a few months. You know, I've written 2 books. You know, I've just done it. You know, most people think that writing a book is a project. You know, it does take some work. It's not an easy thing to do, you know, but anybody can write a book. It's just everybody's not going to write a book because they're not willing to take action. I wrote 2 books. You know, I got myself a few mentors and a few coaches in the speaking industry, you know, to help me move along a lot faster. You know, I'm always looking for opportunities to get exposure. You know, everybody's got to visit my website. I didn't have a website last time I was here, John. But the website is good, man. It's good. It's www.therobmoore.com. That's therobmoore.com. Reason it's therobmoore.com is because if you look at, there's so many Rob Moores in the world, it's unbelievable. There's so many Robert Moores out in the world, it's unbelievable. But I say I'm the Rob Moore because I'm the one and only. There is nobody else like me, period.
And he spells his last name, M-O-O-R-E.
And, you know, I speak everywhere I possibly can speak, you know. If anybody's interested in hearing me speak, you know, you can go to my website. I have clippings of some of the speeches I have done. And I'd be more than happy, you know, to speak anywhere, you know, to any group, you know, at any event. You know, actually, when I get off of, when I get out of here today, I'm going to be hitting, you know, the high school and the middle school around here, you know, to see if they would be interested in me coming in to speak to their kids. You know, I just don't want people to go through the things I've gone through. You know, it's a shame to look at so many people out there just kind of just sleepwalking through life, you know?
Well, that's like my friend, my co-host here. She believes that she can help people too by finding out the ancestors. Tell us about, you know, what you're doing.
I research family history for people, and I actually do a few different things, and also have an event planning business. So
wow,
I'm totally relating to what you were saying here. Just I made the decision a few years ago to take action, and I would say in many aspects of my life I was playing an average game, and a few years ago I decided to find a mentor, started taking classes, and I love to read, so I do a lot of reading as well of motivational speakers and writers. And I also would not be here today. You know, if you had asked me 10 years ago if I would be on the radio, I would say, "Are you kidding?" And so I'm just totally relating to what you are saying.
This is so awesome.
And it is about having a mentor. It is about making the decision. I think that's the most important thing. And then the other key is taking action. And so I have the genealogy business, and I've got an event planning business. So I'm combining my interest in family history with the event planning. It's event planning for family social occasions, so weddings and funerals and birthdays and things like that. And again, 10 years ago, I would not have said that I would be doing any of this.
She stepped up.
That is awesome.
I
Did she step up?
Yes, she did.
She stepped up.
Yes, she did. That is awesome.
Let me play another song here while we kind of get together here a little bit. Mr. Alwyn, y'all, come on.
That's good stuff. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was going to ask you, who are some of you? If you haven't heard of Pete.
Hey, baby. Come in.
Yeah, come on in. Just don't trip over the thing. How you doing?
Good. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Rob.
Nice to meet you. God, it's like positive energy, like first and major. How you doing, Jay?
I'm well. How are you, Brittany?
You look different today. What is it?
I don't know. Ponytail, maybe no
No,
makeup.
I
yeah,
know John's going to ask me to turn around. I'm not doing it.
Now come over here. Come on, give me that. Get over here.
Well, let me.
Stop. You made me so self-conscious.